welcome back. So in my last couple of videos, I guess I kind of talked more about some of the negative things that I've experienced in my 30s. So today I wanted to focus on the positive, and I want to discuss 5 things specifically that have just been true positives of being in my 30s. So yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. So number 1, and these are in no particular real order, I'm just going to number them. But I am more confident and self-aware in my 30s, absolutely, than I was in my 20s, or any other point in my life. And I think you start to learn yourself more, right? You use your 20s to kind of grow and kind of see what worked, what didn't work, to learn more about yourself. And so that has given me a level of confidence in myself and my capabilities and what I bring to the table. And I have also, I've done a lot more thinking in my 30s and reflecting that has caused me to become more self-aware. And that has definitely been a positive, because it's super important, when you're in situations or around other people, to be aware of how you may come across, the things that you say, the things that you do, how you're perceived. That's all important. But even just in being more confident, one area that's been a real big one for me is being able to say no. When I was in my 20s and beyond, or before that, I was a people pleaser. I definitely was a people pleaser, and would put others, before myself when it came to, because I wanted to be likable. I wanted people to like me, and I didn't want to disappoint anyone. So, people would ask me to do things and I would do it even if I didn't really want to, just because I was too afraid to say no. I didn't have the confidence in myself, or really that self-love, to just be like, no, I'm sorry, I don't want to do it. Whereas now, if I don't want to do it, I'm not doing it, period. So it's definitely one thing that I will say has been a big plus. That growth and that confidence and being self-aware and the ability to say no. So number 2, this is also a big one. I think, so for number 2, knowing who's really in your corner, knowing who your true friends are, even your real family members, like people who genuinely ride for you. I'd say you really find this out in your 30s, because if you've dealt with people or had certain people in your life from a young age and been with you from a certain period of time, like in your 30s, by this point in your life, you have experienced certain things. You have gone through some heartbreaks, some heartaches, some trials and tribulations throughout your life, and you have seen who has really been there for you and who hasn't. You have seen who has kind of fallen by the wayside and who hasn't. You have seen who you could rely on and depend on and who you couldn't. And so you really start to cultivate a smaller circle of people that you call your inner circle, your friends, your family, all of that. Because you're not so concerned with just having a large amount of people around you, but just having the right amount of people around you. So I'd say that's a big one. My circle got smaller, but it got better because I weeded out people that were not around me for the right reasons or didn't really have genuine intentions for me. So that was definitely something that I think came in my 30s, because I was able to really had more discernment in the people that were around me because of life experience, and I could really just see that more clearly. The rose-colored glasses came off, and I could see people from a different lens, and so I was able to kind of hone in on who my true tribe was. Number 3, independence, being financially stable. And I'm not saying that everybody's going to get this when they're in their 30s, but more likely than not, you will be more independent and financially stable than you were in your 20s. And again, goes back to, life experience. And also, the older you get, hopefully you're learning and growing more. Hopefully, if there's a craft that you have or skills that you possess, you're consistently working to enhance. But yes, so I am definitely, without a doubt, more financially stable and independent. And when I say independent, I'm not even just talking about financially. I'm talking about emotionally and mentally. Like, I don't need a person, a relationship, or anything to validate who I am. I don't need a whole bunch of friends to make me feel, good about myself. I just talked about, in the last one, my circle is smaller, but it's a better circle. It's a stronger circle of people that are really there for the right reasons. And so yeah, more independent in that regard. I don't need a man to be happy. Of course, I want one, absolutely, but I don't need one. It's a difference. I don't need one for my finances. I don't need one for, my confidence. But I want one. I want somebody special in my life. And anybody who says they don't, I don't. I'm sorry, I don't believe you. But I do. I have a very different level of independence than I had in my 20s, and that comes again from being more self-aware, right? And then I've worked and experienced things where I've been able to really hone in on my skills, enhance my skills, and learn and grow in my career. That has helped me advance in that way. And of course, with that comes, hopefully it comes financial gain. Also investing and things like that, just having a desire to get more into that. Whereas my 20s, I wasn't as concerned with that. I wasn't thinking about retirement and I wasn't thinking about investing. I wish I had been back then, but honestly I wasn't. But yeah, that has been a bigger focus for me in my 30s, and those are all pluses. Those are all positive things that have been great in my life. Honestly, if I'm just completely honest, the 30s have been the best years of my life thus far, and I know it's just going to continue to get better. This phase that I'm in right now is the best phase that I've ever been in. So number 4, I know exactly what I want and what I don't want. I know what I will settle for and what I won't settle for, what I accept, what I won't accept. I know, and I'm not afraid to say no, and I'm not afraid to not settle. I think that comes with, again, life experience, maturity, like self-love. I'm not going to just settle for anything, Society's telling me at this age I need to have kids and I need to be married, but what if I met Mr. Right yet? I'm not going to just settle just to say I'm married. No. So, no. No. Again, I'm not afraid to say no. But, yeah, you know more of what you want and what you don't want. And that's so important as we start to age and grow and figure out the next step in life, So that has been a plus for me. Just being more, just knowing more. And honestly, all of these things kind of add up to number 5, which is things are better because you're better. Things in your life are so much better in your 30s because you're better. And you're better because of experience, because you have grown so much and you have experienced a lot more, done a lot more, tried a lot more. And again, this is hopefully all of these things have happened for you, and I'm assuming they have. But if they haven't, there's still time for them to happen, Again, use those dark times to propel you forward into that light, right? You can either dwell on the negativity or you can use that to propel you into the positive. You decide your next chapter. Like, you decide your next chapter. Remember that. But yeah, everything is better because you're better. Life is better because you are better. You are a better person. you are more experienced. You have more life lessons that are really just blessings. Every lesson is a blessing because you're learning something. You're learning either what you don't want or do want, so that when you get to the next chapter, you can use the experience from the last one to help navigate your direction. Yeah, everything is better because you are better. So, I mean, there's a longer list, but those have been the top 5 that have just really resonated with me right now. But I can say my 30s are amazing, amazing, and I'm excited to see what the future holds.